I'm a terrific oversharer. I told a fucking massive story about discovering masturbation. And I don't know why I whispered that.
This is my topic. All right.
How do you view sex and pleasure?
Oh, how don't I view it?
It's almost a form of meditation, but it's a lot more fun than meditation, probably.
It's very, very important to me. It's a passion of mine.
At first, it was something that used to be associated with lots of guilt as a result of my upbringing. I grew up in the typical church household, getting given an abstinence ring as a young child.
How I used to view sex in terms of what I needed it to fulfill within my own self-love, because I didn't love myself. So I was looking. I was like, who is going to love me? You. And that's what I needed consistently.
Sex is just fun. Being on testosterone just means that at least for the next while before things level out, if they ever level out, I'm just a horny teenage boy.
It's crazy if you compare like when we were like 19, 18 and you think like you were a porn star, that you were amazing performance and you had no idea that you didn't know what you're doing.
Before I went through my vaginismus treatment, which involved a lot of physical therapy, Botox, hormones, steroids, sex was like it was just admin. And now it's because I see it less as a penetrative activity. Sex is always and everything.
There's an assumption that women post-menopause are not sexual beings, and that's bullshit. I think what happens as we get older, we get less tolerant of bad sex. But I can tell you that libido doesn't go away. Pleasure is more important to me now than sex in some way.
Chose to stop watching porn a couple of years ago. It had so many cool positive benefits as well. Porn's all about, for the most part, the large majority of it's all about penetration, right? Be a man, be strong, make her come, as opposed to leading from a place of achievement.
Unfollowing all of the ripped trans guys on the internet helped a lot. And also just like diversifying my timeline with lots of different body types, not just straight-sized and white like me, has really helped me have the visual stimulus to believe that like all bodies are beautiful. I am a man, even if I am not 6 foot tall with a six-pack. Being socialized as female, you learn that like your sexual attractiveness is like a really useful social tool, right? If you're hot, you're perceived as good in every other way. It took me ages to realize I was trans and come out as trans. And also I was like, no one will ever find me attractive ever again. The male gaze just like infiltrates you, right?
I also had sexual assault incident a few years ago, which again pushed me back into a place of fear around sex and pleasure. Now I absolutely love sex. I look forward to trying out different things. Yeah, it just feels much nicer space to be in.
One of the most liberating things for me when it comes to sex and attraction and sexual attraction is hearing the word demisexual about 4 years ago and going, oh, that's me. Oh, I don't feel sexual connection with you. I'm not going to have sex with you. For so much of my life, because I'd never felt sexual attraction, I just thought, I think you're an okay person and you want to have sex with me. I guess this is just what this is. I consented to it. Hearing the demisexual term, realizing it was me, I've just been way more open into saying, oh no, I don't feel that, and that's fine.
Being in a fat body, sex and pleasure was viewed in a way that I didn't think was even possible for me. The way fat people are portrayed in the media really like gets you when you're a fat person. You're gross, you're smelly, you're undesirable, and nobody wants you. Art reenacts reality, reenacting art. It's just this vicious cycle. My pleasure was them saying yes. I think I did used to like slut shame. That was coming from a place of misogyny and a place of jealousy, because for me back then I was like, oh, they're being chosen, therefore I am not. The easy way to bring that person down, and now I definitely let that go.
Being a transgender woman, I learned to accept myself. Like, it was difficult for my family, but the more I came to accept myself, I really did not care what people say about me.
And I remember him being more attracted to like people who have like no hair on your whole pussy. I was like, I don't know, I've never tried it, but like, I want you to feel attracted to me, so I'm gonna do that, to the point where he would pay for me to go and do that. That's been a big thing. So therefore I have to keep doing that because that's what's attractive. And now I'm like, I'm just gonna be comfortable. And I'm also like, I don't need any extra pain in this area.
Stopping sleeping with men, like cis men, was just the most beautiful thing I ever did. Being queer, being gay, and giving yourself permission to be all of those things.
That we are all fucking sexy. We really are. I honestly was really trying to adapt myself to pornography, or adapt myself to the male gaze, or adapt myself to what would be sexy or attractive via social media or via what all of popular culture is telling me. The closer I've been drawn to my most authentic self, learned that I'm very sexy. And I'm on this journey of really reclaiming queer, Pasifika, indigenous identities and ways of viewing sex, and just our old paradigm. Sex is a life energy that's quite sacred for us to access.
Okay, I'm overweight. I'm in a wheelchair, but I feel like I can give pleasure and I can have pleasure. I know what turns me on, talk to me, baby. So although, I have no sensation from my chest down, I can, if I see what's going on, my brain like that can reactivate those sensations. What happened to me opened up Pandora.
What does it mean to be good at sex? Oh God, how am I going to answer this?
I think it means to be willing to communicate.
Communicating.
Communication.
Being okay with not being good and not taking it personally, because sometimes it is like chemistry, sometimes it is like sexual compatibility. Bodies are so different. Bodies are so different.
Oh. Understanding of if someone wants to have sex with you, you're already enough for them.
Good at sex doesn't exist, man. There is no ABC formula, fancy thing you can do with your tongue that makes you good at sex. A chat first. As things are starting, queer people have just literally taught me that, how great and hot that can be as part of foreplay.
Yeah, just that heteronormative idea that men are the ones that have sex and women are the ones that receive sex.
When I first started sleeping with people who had vulvas, I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to do. And I was so anxious and so nervous. Was very lucky to have very understanding partners who were like, sex is about communication. Sex is different with everyone. You can't just copy and paste. I think especially New Zealanders, we don't like saying what we want. So being able to pick up on those subtle changes.
I feel like good sex always involves laughter.
That's a really good question. Good at sex. Who for? Society and the media has churned out is kind of performative stuff, when actually it's about listening to your body, listening to someone else's body, and giving pleasure in whatever energy that pleasure is needed.
It can be casual, for sure. But when you're with the person, I hate that word, but it's almost like a holy union type thing. And I think it should be viewed as such because you're sharing a very intimate experience with another person. They probably have a giant amount of trust that they put in you. So share it back with them.
Being good at sex means not giving a fuck about being good at sex. I think that's it. That's literally it.
Oh, it just means to love it, to enjoy it. It can't be about technique. That's crazy. You will suddenly one day meet somebody who does something that no one's ever done before and it's amazing.
One person might like having you spit in their mouth and the other one might not. So it's about finding out what works.